Hi everyone, I'm Ngozi and I'm back. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ngozi. On this channel, I talk about 4C hair particularly. And today I'm going to be talking about 3 common misconceptions and or myths about 4C natural hair. So stay tuned, subscribe, and let's get into it. All right, number one. I think it's what a lot of us who do have 4C hair always tell ourselves, and it's kind of a bad thing. It's kind of like negative self-talk, but I think the number one thing would be that 4C hair is just is unmanageable. You can't maintain it. It's just too much to do. And I feel like when we tell ourselves these things, we subconsciously give ourselves excuses not to take care of our hair properly because we're just like, oh, our hair is thicker, it's coarser, it's more work, so I'll just keep it under wigs. I'm guilty of it. I'll just, put it under these braids. I'll just do this because it's just so unmanageable. And trust me, I get it. I have 4C. You can see it here. I have 4C here, so I know the struggle. But at the same time, I just feel as if when we say things like that, like you have other people who like literally wash and style their hair every day, like some Caucasian people, you know what I mean? So I just feel as if sometimes it is a little bit of an excuse and it's kind of out of ignorance because a lot of us were not trained, we're not raised how to properly take care of our hair. We grew up with our hair permed when we were very young. We grew up with our hair in braids. We grew up with our hair in weaves. So now, to enter adulthood, I don't know if you saw my intro video. I talked about I've been natural over 15 years, stopped perming my hair 10th grade in high school, and I'm 29 right now. So it wasn't until I stopped perming my hair and actually started wearing my real hair out, which was like after my freshman year of college, 2010, that I started really learning how to style, take care, and do it. And I've had this hair on my head for how long, but it took 19, 20 years for me to actually start learning how to do it because I just always had it hidden under something or always had it chemically processed. So don't get me wrong, 4C hair is tough. I know what I go through, but it's not as tough as sometimes we think or we tell ourselves. You just really have to know how to handle your hair. For example, can't comb your hair, do anything, nothing dry. Always gotta have water in it, some conditioner mixed with water, some conditioner by itself. You need that slip. You always need some moisture, something in your hair before you can try and manipulate it. Growing up, we had parents combing your hair dry. That's why I heard, because they didn't know either. A lot of our parents didn't really know how to manage their hair because where my mother's from, she grew up in Africa. And same thing, they wore their hair very low or they wore their hair like threaded or in braids. So the same thing, she didn't grow up learning how to take care of her hair. So it's something that she passed on to me. And it just takes that time and effort to really learn how to manage our hair. But 4C hair can be manageable with the right products, the right tools, and the right information. It definitely can be manageable. So let's throw that myth away. Okay, number 2, the second popular myth, probably the most popular myth, is that 4C hair doesn't grow. I used to believe that too until I had my growth spurt. I don't know if I can find a picture. I'll insert it in here. It was like end of 2018. I felt like I've been natural. How long I see people go do the big chop within 1 year, their hair is as long as mine. I'm just like, something isn't happening. Like something's not right. But then I started to realize that a lot of people with 4C hair, a lot of us may not experience the hair growth we want due to many factors. I think number 1 for me would be moisture. It's very hard for my hair to retain moisture. I put up a video about how I moisturize my hair in the winter. I think it should be up here, one of those. I'll link it in here. But retaining moisture is so important because if our hair it usually is prone to dryness. So if our hair is not retaining moisture, it's going to be dry, and most likely dry hair, what does it do? It breaks, it falls out. You know what I mean? So that's why a lot of us do struggle, 4C girls and men, we do struggle with retaining length when our hair is out because our hair is sometimes can get very dry and is just breaking in the process. So another and also too is our curl pattern. A big thing about the curl patterns, a lot of it does have to do with, there's a lot. That's probably a separate video about all these curl patterns. Our hair 4C is very spiraled. So when you grease your scalp or you oil your scalp, a lot of that moisture is in your scalp, gets down a little bit, it doesn't get to the tip of your hair. So a lot of us forget, you know, we just can't oil our scalp or grease our scalp and that's it. We actually have to oil our hair, oil our tips, seal it, you know, all our ends. And we can't forget about our actual hair and our ends, because a lot of our moisture doesn't reach to that point. And if we don't do that, we could be prone to, you know, breakage as well. Another thing with the breakage is also another thing that contributes to this myth of 4C people not having long hair is that a lot of us manipulate our hair a lot in terms of, you know, always touching it, styling it, moving it around. I watch so many YouTubers, they're like styling their hair every week, and it's like it's very hard for your hair not to break when your hands are always in it, you're always touching it, you're always moving it. It's just more prone to breakage. So another good thing, especially with this weather now, it's winter, is protective styles. So don't overdo it like me. Don't keep your braids in for 3 months. That was crazy. I don't know. 2020 has been a real year. I just wanted to get my money's worth out of my wig, and I just didn't feel like touching my hair. Don't do that. But don't be extreme. But protective styling is good. At least go a month without touching your hair. At least go, you know, like not every 3-4 days a week. You're always touching. That makes your hair more prone to breakage, of course. Last but not least, another very, very popular myth regarding 4C hair is that it's not professional. No. And then, of course, the media has a lot to do with this. A lot of it is conditioning. You know, a lot of times we grew up thinking, you know, when you picture that everyone got their hair straightened, even if they had natural hair. You know, it was something that we'd be conditioned to think that straight hair is professional, braids, natural hair, specifically 4C hair, is unprofessional. And I just feel like we need to, like, it's 2020, almost 2021. We got to throw that out. That's not true. It comes down to how you present your hair, how you style it, you know, how you wear it. Of course, I think a lot of it does come from anti-blackness. A lot of it does stem from racism. A lot of it does stem from a lot of like negative things. But like even me, I'd always feel as if when I have my natural hair out, because my hair is 4C, I don't know if this is good or bad. Please don't come from me in the comment section. I feel like I always kind of have to like put more effort into my appearance. Like I have to wear makeup. I have to, you know, make sure my hair is oiled, because I don't want my hair looking dry. I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people have this negative perception of 4C hair, is because 4C hair, like we said, is prone to dryness. A lot of times you see someone with 4C hair and their hair is OD dry. So when you think of 4C hair, just think of dry, matted, Brillo pad hair, and then that makes you just have a negative perception of 4C hair. But if you see 4C hair that's nourished, it's nice, it's styled properly, I feel like that stereotype will die off, you know, with time. I just feel like us as 4C hair havers, 4C'ers, we just have that responsibility to just try and make our hair always look good. Not always perfect. We're not perfect, but you know, just make it like, let me tell you a story. When I went natural, when I first wore my hair out like 2010, I never got so many compliments on my hair in my life. Like, it was crazy. I used to feel like, yo, are these people like okay? Like, are they just saying this to make me feel good? It was coming from everyone. White, Hispanic, Black. It was not just my fellow Black brothers and sisters. And it was just like, wow, like I lived my whole life thinking that, you know, this straight hair, this perm, this weave was the standard. And then I wore my real hair out and people preferred it to my weaves and my straight hair. So, you know, it's all about exposure. That's a big factor. People are basing things off what they see. So that's why representation is so important. If people don't even see natural hair, talk less of 4C hair, you already can think of all the crazy things that are in their mind, all the stereotypes that are there, because they're not exposed to it. So representation is so important, especially when it comes to 4C hair, so we can just change a narrative, erase all these stigmas and all these negative myths regarding our hair, because 4C hair is hair, it grows, very versatile. One of the, to me, the biggest benefit of 4C hair is that I feel like I can achieve any hairstyle with my hair or with extensions. I don't like, it's just so versatile. And I just love seeing our hair put on a positive platform. And, you know, I love seeing fellow YouTubers just styling their hair, just making it look so pretty. We need more of that. But let me know how you guys feel about this video. Is there anything else you think people think about 4C hair? Let me rephrase that. Are there any other myths or misconceptions that come up to your mind when you think about 4C hair? Any major ones besides the ones that I talked about? Number 1 was 4C hair not being manageable. Number 2 was 4C hair not growing. Number 3 was 4C hair not being professional. Let's chat down in the comments section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with everybody you know. And I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye, y'all. Take care.